I'm pleased to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Well, Congressman Sessions was just here, so if the election were today, do you think he has the votes?
You know, his race has 4 people in it, so it is a little harder to tell. And remember, this is entirely decided in the conference, unlike the Speaker's vote, which is on the floor. This only takes 124 members to elect the next majority whip. So a little bit harder to handicap because there's more people, but the number is a lot lower also.
What's his best selling point, you think?
With Pete, it is his experience, and look, who more than anyone else, I mean, a lot of people will claim it as a victory, but who more than anyone else was responsible for retiring Nancy Pelosi? It was Pete Sessions. And I remember in 2009, he stood up in front of a big group of Republicans downtown, and he said, this is the year we're going to take it back and retire Nancy Pelosi. And people at the head table were saying, no, keep expectations down. And Pete wouldn't have it. He said, I'm going for it. And he would talk to us on the floor. He would talk to us in meetings. You got to go home. You got to sell a fight. I can't tell you the number of times I was sitting at home trying to actually catch maybe an afternoon nap, and Pete would say, what are you doing? And I'd say, well, I'm working hard on my reelection, Pete. And he'd say, I need you to go to Corpus Christi. I need you to go to Florida and meet a candidate. He was constantly putting people out there and trying to get his folks elected. Let's look at it this way, too. He put someone on the ballot in states where no one thought a Republican had a chance, especially after the 2008 election. We were back on our heels at that point. He brought us all the way back.
This is really a fractured Republican Party right now in Congress. How do you bring it together?
Well, I don't know that I would suggest that it's a fractured Republican Party. Look, politics, although it's not specifically part of the Constitution, has been part of our history going back to Jefferson and Adams. So it's a sport that has a tradition, a long tradition, and a rich history. There are people who feel very passionately about the things that they feel passionately about, and we're fortunate. We've got a number of good minds on the Republican side, and listening to good ideas is always a good idea.
I have to ask you a question about Syria and what's going on there with Russia and everything. What should we do? What should the policy be going forward?
Well, number one, there needs to be a policy and a strategy that's well articulated and at least understood by the administration. And I'm obviously not on a committee of jurisdiction there, but the times that I am able to intersect with people who are, the administration doesn't seem to have a clear plan. The generals seem to be saying something different than the commander-in-chief. And, you know, honestly, I think that's picked up on by people who really don't care for us as a country. Right now you've got Russia. They said they're going over there, and by golly, they're going to take care of ISIS, except, oh, maybe it's not ISIS. Maybe they're bombing the guys that we have supported through our CIA. How long will we as a country be able to tolerate that before we do something in response? And then at that point, it's anyone's guess where it goes next.
All right, well, thank you, Congressman, for being with us.